Are you able to get me well?
Yeah.
Perfect. Super. So as was mentioned by the moderator of the session, my name is John Matogo, responsible for academic collaboration for IBM in the Africa region. So let me first of all express my thanks to the event organizers for inviting me to this particular session. Let me just see if I can load up my slides well here. Okay, position. To invite me to this particular session to speak with you about the topic that was requested on business intelligence, sort of broaden wider. Let's look at the topic of data science. And just in my conversation with what the previous mentioned, just of make sure we have a continuous thread in this conversation. I'll try to add to that because really an age where data that is all of us we are collecting continuously, and the skill that we see will be very, and we actually begin to see it now, will be very advantageous for all of you. And this moment, I'm assuming I'm speaking to an audience that is mostly academic, so mostly faculty members and students, is learning how to manage this data. So from the point of collection, storing it, and then just being able to make sensible inferences from this data, I think is critically important. We are all living in this day and age where we are confronted by this pandemic. And I think if you think about it, 2 years ago, if you talked about data analytics, that would be something that maybe not many people would be familiar with. But I think if you talk to anybody now and mention to them the curve, everybody's familiar with the curve, right? We're all talking about these waves of the pandemic when we are beginning the wave, and then we are now at the peak of the wave or the crest of the wave, and so on and so forth. So, and that wave is really advised by the data that is being collected by the people who are investigating and seeing how the virus is spreading. And that is really data, and that's really data science that we are talking about here. So, like I said, so let me just broaden that conversation a little bit more. By way of time, I was advised by the moderator that we have about 30 minutes. First of all, that is not enough time to do justice to the topic. It is really a massive topic, very interesting topic. So what I will do is just open up your eyes and then point you, I think, even better to more resources where you can continue developing your skills on the topic of data science. That's one. And then two is for all of you who are either faculty members or students, I want to give you access to resources where you can then all go in there, take in different types of data, and actually see how you could manipulate that data, okay? And then be able to make useful insights from that particular data, okay? So that is the objective I have for today. So one is to point you to resources where you can actually go and learn about the topic of data science, and then to also give you access to resources that you can actually go in and begin manipulating and using that particular data. Okay, so that is my objective, and I hope that you will find this session interesting. I have a few slides to run through. Like I said, it's not enough time to do justice to the topic, but what I will want to do is really point you in the direction where you can actually go ahead and learn more about it. By the way, this skill right now, as you can imagine, is really something that is very highly demanded in the industry. And if you think about it, in this last few months, anything and everything that has really been functional has been technology enabled, right? So developing skills and expertise in these technologies, I think, will be extremely advantageous for you going forward. All right. So if I'm able to load up, okay, let me just see if I can put up this here. Okay, so to the moderator, please alert me if you're able to just see the slides I put up on the screen. Hello, to the moderator, can you please just confirm that you can see my slides I just put up on the screen? I just put up a deck and it just shows data science.
All right, so Mr. John, we're with you. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you for that confirmation. So just a little bit about myself, and feel free to reach out to me. So I'm part of the IBM organization, and specifically out of the research division. IBM has a research presence on the African continent, so which is, I think, something that is very good to mention, because we are sort of the first industrial research organization that's set up in the continent, cognizant of the importance of, number one, being present on the continent, and also delivering value that will be used to enhance the continent's activities. So feel free to take a screen grab and just take my email address. My responsibility is to work with our university partners, like Bayes University, and I'm very happy to be connected to you again. I unfortunately could not be there physically, but I'd love to come back again. I've been to Bayes, I believe, 2 times before, and I'm happy to always engage with Dr. Islan and the rest of the team there. So 2 minutes about who IBM is. And by the way, sometimes I always tell my colleagues that we take it for granted when we say IBM. So IBM as a company was more in the retail space, or more visible a few years back when we used to sell the hardware devices. But now we are more of a business-to-business type of company. So we are the company that runs the technology that powers most of the things that you can think of that you use on a normal day. So if you use technology on a daily basis, using your ATM, or moving money in your bank account, or taking a cell phone and making a call, checking the weather, I know by 60% of the chances that you've hit an IBM system at any point. So we power a lot of the technologies that are used by different partners. So in this chart here, you see representation of different sectors of the economy. So you've got financial services represented by this piece of a bank card. You've got the space exploration, you've got film, you've got aviation, transport, manufacturing, you name it. All these different sectors, including others are not included here, healthcare, oil and gas, and so on. IBM, as a technology company, has got technology plays that power all these different industries. At the bottom here, I put this picture of, you can see 2 gentlemen and a system in the middle there called Watson. So this was taken back in 2012, I believe, where we showcased our artificial intelligence engine, which we call Watson after our early founders. And here we were putting Watson against the best brains in this game show called Jeopardy. And as you can see, Watson was way ahead of all those best contestants at the time. So right now, what is the focus of IBM? We have razor sharp focused on the topic of artificial intelligence and what we call hybrid cloud. And I will mention this as we go forward. And why is this? Like we said, we are in a world that is right now powered by data. So we've got data coming from all different sources. Just think about a typical day and how many data points you've actually left as you go through your typical day. Or even just think about the last hour. If you picked up your cell phone is pushing out data, data points at every moment that you use it. If you made a call, who you called, when you called, how long the conversation was for, and so on. So you're picking up a lot of data. Where your phone is, I mean, your typical cell phone is an IoT device that is picking up a lot of data because it has got multiple sensors inside it. So there's a lot of data that we are generating through our daily activities. So with all this explosion of data, there is literally no way, as humans, we can be able to manage that data. And this is why we then look to technology to help us manage and begin making useful sense of that data. And that is why incorporating artificial intelligence is extremely important going forward. Okay, and that is how the question of AI comes in. The velocity, the veracity that we are generating this data is again another reason why we need to incorporate technology to help us manage and process this data. The next point is cloud. Why is cloud important? So think about cloud as computing resources that are remote. This powerful computing resource, almost, let's say, that is, you cannot sort of put a cap on it. So you just need to provision the environment and you get it, right? So you almost inexhaustible in a way. So you think about this cloud environment. With all this data that we're generating so much, we also need to have a way in which we can capture all this data coming from these different devices that are capturing and generating this data. So we need a cloud environment. Your typical computer system, as powerful as it is not able to manage that data. And that is why we then bring in this cloud environment. So two important topics that, again, as you go forward in this idea of looking at this data are important for us to keep in mind. So again, as a foundation, these are some areas that IBM is focusing on. So who's IBM? So this year, we celebrated 110 years of the company's existence. So I talked about this breadth of experience in different technology sectors. So we've got 100 years of plus of innovation. We've got breadth of experience in different industry verticals. And then I think one thing that makes us unique is this trust and security of all engagements we have with our clients, including Bayes University, which is, if you want to think of it as one of our academic partners. So this is who IBM is. I thought it's important to mention because, like I said, we are not really a technology company that is out there in the retail space, because what we do is work in the back to power a lot of the technology that you might be using on a daily basis. My responsibilities through the Global University programs, working with partners like Bayes University, making available to all of you technologies that you will experience and use as you go through your academic practice. So for students, what we want to do is to make available all these technologies that commercial companies use. So all the banks, all the airlines, if you think of it, you name it, right? To make this available to you so that as you go through your studies, if you're learning databases, for example, how can you then experience a database, an enterprise database environment? So we make this available to you at no charge. As faculty members, as you're doing research, we want you to use the same technologies. Some of you may have heard of the famous criticism that in the universities you learn or you are taught technologies that are obsolete. We say no. We want to bridge that gap and say, here are all the technologies that we sell commercially, that you find in the industry, in all the companies. And we want to bring them to universities at no charge so that you can experience and use them and enrich your academic experience, so that when you get out into the work environment, you are familiar and you're already capable and enabled on this technology. So that this is really the function of the Global University program. So let me quickly just mention some of this. And like I said, I want to give you access to this because I would like you to really dive deep and begin learning the topic of data science, develop skills in it, and actually give the tools that you can actually begin doing that. So a number of programs that we have available. And if you're a student at Bayes University, you can begin accessing these resources today after this presentation. So one is the academic initiative. Through a self-service portal, we give you access to learning We give you access to software that you can then use to learn and develop your skills around data science. But more than that, we also give you access to IBM Cloud. So if you want to begin using an enterprise cloud environment, all of you can get a free cloud account through the Academic Initiative Program. And not only that, we can actually upgrade that free cloud account and give you credits so that you can begin developing applications straight on your cloud environment. Okay. If you wish to build your skills further than the self-learning portal, we have a program which we call the Ibm Skills Academy, which is a certification program. We had initiated some of these activities in the past with Bayes University, but I'm happy to re-explore this and re-engage so we can give the opportunity for some of you to certify on some of these technologies as you go forward. For the faculty members who are doing research and would like support from IBM, be it in kind or cash awards, we support that using our university award programs. And then, as a technology company, we've got experts in wide range of technologies. So we have a program which we call the University Guest Lecture Program, through which we can have IBM experts, subject matter experts on different topics, talk to you on topics that you may be interested in. Some are open topics, but I believe you may have even experienced during this particular summit or innovation week that you're attending. We have some of our colleagues who have been running a session the day before yesterday on cloud and developing applications on cloud, and I believe later today you also have another session that you can join if you check the agenda. So these are sort of open sessions that we invite members of the community to join, but we also have an opportunity to have customized sessions if you wish to have that for folks at the university. So, I mean, this is what I've just described, some of the programs on the university engagement. So I'll just skip through this. The academic awards, we have got the fellowship and internship activities, the usual kind of activity. Let me then quickly just dive to show you how you can get access to this. So as you can see from the engagement with various universities, so globally, we actively reach out to the university partners and would like to deepen this collaboration with your university, so we make sure we make these technologies available to you. So this is the academic initiative I described. I will walk you through just how to register. So if you're taking notes, I would rather leave you with the know-how so that even if I leave this, you can continue learning much more than even what I can share with you now. So to get the academic initiative portal, I said it's a free service portal. You go in there whenever you have time. For students, I encourage you when you learn something during your lectures, come back to the academic initiative and look for extra resources that you can use to complement what you've learned. So if it's a software, go and get that software and begin developing skills on it. If it's a topic, go and do a deeper dive because on the academic initiative, you've got tons and tons of resources. So we give you access to cloud, like I mentioned. We give you access to commercial grade software. So this is not sort of like a trimmed down version of the software. It's actually the full software that we give you that we sell commercially. So you will see part of the process. What we will do is ask you to confirm that you will be using it for academic purposes. I'm not going to open a shop to sell these technologies. And then also, I think very important is to give you access to resources that you can continuously learn and develop your skills. One of the important things, guys, I will mention is that I think one of the skills and the qualities, the traits that would be highly attractive going forward is the developing the skill, the capacity to continuously improve yourself through self-learning. I mean, it's impossible to know everything, but as long as you have the interest to continue learning and where to find the learning, I think that will be important because that way you can always develop skills on that. So through resources like this, I think you can continue developing your skills. So the link that if you're taking note, ibm.com/academic, that's where you need to go to to get access to the academic initiative. Let me just walk you through it, and if you'd like to just register for that, you can go ahead and do that. So when you go to the website of Academic Initiative, you have a site that will open up. It might not look like this one here, but you will find on it a button that says register now. Or if you're registered from before, maybe you registered your email address on an IBM system in the past, you will just log in, or subsequent access, you will just log in. So click on the register now. It will take you through a few steps to register your email address or your account. So important point to note is that for you to get access to these resources, we need to know that you're part of Bayes University. And the only way we can sort of know that is if you use your Bayes University email address. So your typical email address would be your username at the domain of the university. So you need to register using your Bayes University email address, whether you're a faculty member or a student. If you go in there, try using your Gmail account or Hotmail or whatever it is, unfortunately will not go because we can't verify that you're actually part of the Bayes community. So it's critically important to access this, make sure you use your university email address. And for students, like I always say, use your university email address, take advantage of it because you have a lot of resources available to you by virtue of being a student. So that's a premium account, so continue using that. Sometimes I meet students who ignore their university email address, but that's, I tell you, a very valuable identity or resource that you have. So enter your university email address. The next step is just indicate whether you're a student or a faculty member. If you're a student, indicate what your current degree is. If you have a past degree, maybe a bachelor's or a master's, indicate that. If you don't, no problem. Say maybe you're an undergraduate student, set that as none, and then indicate what degree are you studying for. If you're working for a master's or PhD or a BSc or BA, pick that. LLM, LLB, whatever the case may be, pick that there. The date you expect to graduate, okay, you don't have to be super accurate, but you expect to graduate maybe in 2023, 2024, doesn't matter. And then pick a department name that comes close to what your department is known as. School of Computing, Faculty of Science, School of Engineering, School of Medicine, doesn't matter, just pick one that comes closest to that. The next thing is to choose to be enrolled to the IBM Badge Program. So the Badge Program is a way in which you can show recognition for the skill that you have acquired, right? So I said on this portal, you'll get access to learning materials or course material. When you complete those learning courses, you get a digital badge or a digital certificate if you complete the test. So this badge is the way that you can actually show that you've got certification or you've got skill in that particular area. When you complete the course, you get the badge. You can put that in your LinkedIn or on your email signature, wherever the case may be. If you're looking for opportunity later, you can show someone that I have skills in data science and I got this through completing this particular training at IBM. Okay. So I would encourage you, say yes to the question of the badging program. It's going to be useful for you from courses that you take at IBM, but also from other technology companies. Then the next thing is to accept the agreement. So remember I talked about the terms of service. We give you access to a lot of resources that we usually sell for a lot of money, by the way, but because you're part of the Bayes community, we give this to you at no charge, but you commit to use it only for academic purposes. Okay, so you need to click on this text here, the academic terms of service, click on accept, and then this will become checked. And the same thing with the privacy consent, click on this text. Basically what it says is that we're not going to use your information for anything outside IBM Academic Initiative. If you're a faculty member, also a few questions similar to the one that the student answered, a few less, but you just accept that and you move forward. And fairly simple, the last step is just, if this is the first time you're using your email address on an IBM system, you need to put in your name, your first name, your last name, develop a password, so make up your own password that will be known only to you, that you will use to access not only the academic initiative, but all of the IBM systems going forward. So we have got a single sign-on system, and you can use that same account that means your university email address, to identify you on any IBM system, on IBM Cloud later, and any other IBM resources. And then your country, I'm based in Kenya, so you can see here it picks Kenya, but in your case, you're based in Nigeria, so it will pick Nigeria here, and then you move forward. It will say next. It will send a code to that email address that you'll have put here, your university email address. Open it, get the code, bring it back here, and you complete the process. So fairly straightforward process, similar to what we use to open any other online resource. But once you have it, you'll have access to a wide range of resources on different topics, like I will share. But for today's purpose, you'll find a lot of content for the topic of data science. Let me pause for a second in case anyone has tried or is trying and would like to ask a question regarding this as I move forward. Any questions coming from the audience?
So, Mr. John Matogo, what we're going to do is we have a session loading up. So any questions will be taken in the comment section, and we'll perhaps maybe forward them to you, and you answer and we give participants the feedback.
Okay.
So thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. We would love to partner with you guys at IBM and keep fostering the good relationship that we already have. And I look forward to using some of these opportunities and platforms and applications that you presented here today to further my own personal knowledge. And I'm sure many colleagues look forward to doing that also. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. If time allows, maybe if there's 5 more minutes, I could just show you one last resource and then we close. Right. Or is it okay?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. So that is the registration to the academic initiative, which I hope all of you get access to, because you'll find tons of stuff there. Because we're on the topic of data science, let me just show you some of the things that you'll find behind there. Like I said, I mean, just the introduction to data science will take us this entire time of the conference. But let me show you what is there, because after this, you can go on by yourself there. So I'm just showing you for data science some of the things that you'll find inside there. So we give you access to what we call the Data Asset Exchange, which is an online hub for different data sets. So when you're learning topics to do with data science, or even business intelligence and predictive analytics and so on, you need data that you can work with. Remember, we said you need to have collected data for a period of time for you to have a good amount of data for you to work with. So sometimes, as much as, yes, we say data is all over the place, but if I ask you, can you get me data about this? You then need to go through a process to get that data. And sometimes, if you're not the owner of the data, then you have to go through even more steps to get authority or to use that particular data. So you'll realize that collecting data, as much as we say it's very easy, managing that can be a bit of a challenge. So what we did is to develop a number of data sets that you can then use for your own learning and for your own academic activities. So these are open data sets. So these are on different, from different sectors. So if you're looking for data from a healthcare setting or context, if you're looking for data from financial services sector, so think of it like maybe like a bank environment or insurance company type of environment, we have all these data sets available there. So this is collected from real data, but what we did is anonymize that particular data. So removed any personal information, so you cannot able to associate that data with any particular person or organization. But this is a huge amount of data that you can then use to be able to learn. If you're trying to do some trend analysis on that particular data, you can actually do that. If you're doing any predictive on that particular data, you can do that. So you've got the data asset exchange that's available again through the academic niche that you've got access to. Once you have that resource, what else can I do? I talked about a lot of learning content. So we've got full learning courses. So if you want to begin from basics all the way to advanced level for data science, we have got under the courseware section of the data science topic, you can get learning content on data science. And we have got curriculum Some of it that is developed by IBM experts, and also some are developed by some of our collaborators, faculty members, and so on, like some of you on the call. You can get this resource called OpenBS for All. It's a full curriculum. Again, we made available. We put that on a open source license, so it's available through the academic initiative. And if you point to GitHub, there you get, learning material on data science. So, the notes, the slides. You've got lab exercises available there, and so on. That's available on the OpenBS for All portal. And by the way, you do not need to be a computer scientist to do data science. Yes, there is some learn that you need to do to get you up to speed on statistics and things like that. But if you're committed to that, all this information is there, and you can then be able to go in. If you want to learn about machine learning, deep learning, again, there's a resource available there. If you go to IBM Watson Studio, we also have an environment where you can write code for you to do this kind of learning. We also have content there that shows you the application of these technologies in different sectors. So for example, here, there is one I talked about at the beginning, how all of us now are familiar with this topic of the curve, we're in wave 1, we're in wave 2. People can predict that there will be wave 4, wave 5, because they are now being able to look at how the data or how the virus is spreading. So we have a course here, very short 2-hour course on data science in the healthcare space. So I advise those of you who are just looking to see what is this data science and how can it be applied, go in here and look at this micro-credential course on healthcare. Okay, the application of data science and analytics in the healthcare sector, and I'll actually be able to see that. Sometimes this can open your eyes and seeing how can I use this skill of data science in different contexts. And then, like I said, if you complete some of the learning, you can get a badge, a digital certificate. So we've got courses there, foundational course on data science. You can go in there, take the learning. All this is self-paced learning. You go in there, take it at your own pace. If you have an hour today, an hour tomorrow, when you come back, log back in, continue where you left off and finish the course and develop a skill. Python for data science, if you want to learn the Python language to begin developing your model, go in there. If you'd like to get software to use for data science, Watson Studio Desktop is a great development environment. So if you want to write your code in R or your Watson Studio Desktop environment to do that. We also can download to do your analytics. Anything like this, intelligence, historical data, there are two available and use for your work in data management. Complex Optimization Studio for those who are doing things like optimization. So if you're doing some linear programming, for example, and you like to use a tool that can help you do that optimization, it's available there. And many, many more tools that are available. No charge for all of you as members of this community. So, like I said, there's so much. What I hope to do was just to show you where can you go to find, begin learning, and deepen your knowledge on data science. Let me just stop sharing this. I just want to show you some of the things that you will see when you go to the academic initiative, and just organize it just 2 more minutes so that at least give them in a good space to understand what is there. So this is the typical course on the data science that I was showing you. Okay, so I logged on a basic course on the data science, and this is, by the way, just an introductory course, just to show you what's available there. So if you want to begin from the basics of data science, we have got this course available there, getting started with enterprise data science. Remember, it's self-paced. It's just 3.5 hours for the introductory course, and if you wish to go deeper, you can go inside there. When you get to the academic initiative and you want to see other things that are there, I showed you the courseware. We've got the OpenDS curriculum is there, the course material is there, the healthcare course is there, and if you want to learn more, there's also there. I showed you some of the software, Watson Studio, iLog Cplex, SPSS Modeler, DB2 standard, and there's many more software there. If you want to get to the access to the data asset exchange I talked about earlier, and this is live from the academic initiative portal that's available right there. I can talk more about the Skills Academy program, but I believe in the interest of time, let me pause there, and hopefully I look forward to working with your team at the university to make sure we have this course available for all of you at Bayes University. Thank you so much, and I welcome any questions that you may have.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Matogo. So for any comments or questions, please put them in the comments, questions, and you can reply with that, and we'll get back to you shortly. So sorry for the delays, Maggie. Are you around? All right, so for the next session, we have Maggie, Dominic, Alicio, and our colleague Adam. So Maggie is from Richmond American University in London. She's the Global Mobility Officer. She's in charge of partnerships with other universities. We've been working with them for the past 2-3 months. And we're currently working on signing a memorandum of understanding with them to better further our faculties between both institutions. So you have the floor. You can go ahead. If she's not around, maybe Dominic and Alicio, you can take over from her.
Sure, thank you very much. It's lovely to speak to you from sunny London, sunny England. So my name is Ibm Is, and thank you for having us here today. I teach, I'm a professor at Richmond, the American University in London, and Adam, my colleague, will talk more about it in a second. But Richmond is the only university, it's the first university actually, to be accredited in the United States and in the UK. So when students study at Richmond, at the end of their studies, they actually get 2 degrees. They get a UK degree and a US degree, and for no extra time. So I'm just going to do a little introduction. As I said, we're really looking forward to working with Bayes University on the MOU and doing faculty exchanges and student exchanges and lots of other exciting things. But I'll let my colleague Adam now talk a little bit more about the university. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dom. Hi there, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I would just like to share my screen, but I don't have the power. I thought I did, sorry. Could someone allow me access? Because I've just got a bit of a presentation that I'd like to take you through to show you a bit more about the programs we offer.
Okay, so Charlton, at the bottom of your screen, there are about a couple of widgets there. So the one closest to the 3 dots that you see there, there's a little rectangle with an arrow. So click on that. That will allow you to present your screen.
Sorry, guys. It just says I can't share your screen. You must grant permission in order to share your screen.
So let's give you the access. Then you can go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, so you have the access now. You can go ahead and share your screen.
Brilliant, guys. Thank you. All right. Let's, Sorry, guys. It's still not letting me. I'm still getting the you must grant permission.
Okay, so let me see how I can sort that out for you, or can you forward it to me so I can present it for you?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Okay, so just send it to the email that you are copied.